What a dick. Okay, so today the new DLC for Nioh Dragon of the North officially came out, and I'm going to do a quick review and tell you whether or not this is worth purchasing, whether you should get a, season pass, or whether you should just, not bother with it at all. It's very important these days to make sure that your game looks polished, and this DLC is no exception. It is absolutely stunning. The character designs and the yokai designs are fantastic. Unfortunately, there are really only a few new yokai that have been added, although there are some really cool boss character models. They really did a fantastic job on that, but that mainly it was a bunch of reskins of older monsters. But, this doesn't really bother me too much. It's all about the gameplay and the combat system, which is still fantastic. And they have been building on this. They've also added a brand new difficulty called Way of the Demon, which should help make this game last longer and, help us reach the next DLC. One of my favorite parts of this is the Odachi. This was added, and it is the new weapon in Nioh, and it is fantastic. Not because it's game-breaking, just because it's a shit ton of fun to play around with. It's very satisfying to chop people into tiny bits and send limbs, flying all over the screen. And, I think it is a fun and a great addition to the weapon arsenal in Nioh, and I am glad to see it. Now to get to some of the worst parts of this DLC. And I couldn't have said it any better myself. So the main problem I have with Dragon of the North is the amount of content that was added in just the DLC, like the expansion that we paid for. There are actually only 2 full missions that were added on top of a few submissions, and it really doesn't feel like, a lot. Even though the price tag for this was only $9.99, it felt really short. I beat the entire DLC in about 2 hours, and, it was kind of short. I'm just going to put it that way. It's not as long as I would have liked it to have been. That being said, there were a lot of things that were introduced in patch 1.07 that's going to make this game, a lot more interesting. It's going to give you a lot more opportunities and a lot more options to play around with, and that's including PvP. There's going to be new special attributes for weapons. You can really, make some brand new builds now, and you can, take your time and create new things within the game. As far as it goes, I like the DLC. I think that it is good. The story was good. The combat was great, and as I said, the character designs were awesome. I feel a little disappointed that it was not longer, and that I would have at least liked to have had one more main mission to round out this DLC. That being said, I do think it's worth buying, especially because it's only $9.99, and it's not really going to break the bank. And if this is a game that you enjoy anyways, then, this is going to be awesome. You're going to have, more hours to put into it, and it's going to give you, a little bit more Nioh at not a very high price. If you like the video, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you on the next one.